And counsel, could you please state your appearance for the record?
Yes, good afternoon. John Hocking for the defendant, Philip Kidder.
All right, and sir, your name for the record?
My name is Philip Kidder.
All right, and ma'am, your name for the record?
My name is Melissa Noble El Nakdi.
All right, I want to thank everybody for appearing via Zoom today. Please realize that even though you're remote, this is a legal proceeding, just as if everybody was here and present in the courtroom. All right, and ma'am, we are here today on your motion. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, so the motion was blank, but your notice of hearing indicates parenting time and court documentation for Social Security regarding exchange of benefits and asking for 5 weeks return and documentation for Social Security. So I guess I'm wondering, what are you requesting today? You're alleging you were denied parenting time as a starter?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and what is the current parenting time schedule per order of the court right now? Is there a specific schedule or no?
Currently, my ex and I have decided that at Wednesdays at 4 p.m., we exchange our child. 1 week for
Okay.
him, 1 week for me.
You guys do week on, week off?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have you guys been doing that?
For years.
How many years would you guys say you've been doing that?
To be honest, I can't remember how many years. I know his lawyer was the lawyer that helped get that set up. So he may have the answer.
All right, and counsel, can you help us out there? How long have they been doing that schedule?
As long as I've been involved, which is at least 7 or 8 years.
Okay. And so,
Yeah,
ma'am, at some point, okay, go ahead, counsel.
There's a court order to that effect.
Okay, I'm just looking for it right here. All right, it looks like support was based on equal parenting time back in 2016.
Well, I was right, 7 years.
Yeah. All right, so guys, you guys had a judgment of custody entered on August 16, 2016 that awarded you joint legal and physical custody of your minor child, Aaliyah, and parenting time on a week-on, week-off basis with exchanges as indicated by plaintiff on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. So, ma'am, at some point that changed or that parenting time stopped recently?
As of this year, I have had 5 weeks denied to me.
Okay,
And I do
and that's
have
since
those-
January of this year?
No, I'm sorry. That's since May. I don't remember dates before that.
Okay, and in your motion, that's the week of May 3rd, May 17th, June 12th, July 12th, July 26th, and August 9th.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so let's start out there. And did Mr. Kidder give you any reason why your daughter didn't come back on those weeks?
No, I can let you know that on the week of May 3rd, I did contact our local police to do a welfare check because she was supposed to walk over to me and she did not show up.
Okay. All right.
So he knows
And
that
did
I
you ever
did-
have any conversations with Mr. Kidder about those weeks or why they were missed or why she didn't come, or you guys don't communicate?
We are physically unable to communicate because when I do, it has to be his way or the highway.
And what does that mean?
That means that he is not able to agree with me via text because that's the only way of communicating that I will do with him. That way there is legal proof of everything.
And your daughter's currently 13, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And when's the last time, ma'am, you had your alternating weekly parenting time? Have you been getting it recently?
Actually, yes. He did end up having her return to me on August of 22nd around 4 p.m. because the next day was her junior high registration and he did not know how to do that.
Okay. So she's 13. Is she a strong-willed kid, a mild-mannered? What's your daughter's disposition like? What's her demeanor like, her personality?
She's a very smart child. She knows what she wants. She may not always want what is best, but
Okay. So, and why the point of that question is she expressing to you what's going on and why those weeks were missed? Is she telling you anything or?
no.
Okay, so let's start with that issue. So, Mr. Kidder or Counsel, your response to the missed weeks that Ms. Noble Alnaki said she's been denied?
Okay, well, first of all, Your Honor, my client has no reason not to have his daughter have visitation with plaintiff. He didn't deny her visitation. The daughter didn't want to go back to her during the summer. This is during the summer, essentially, from what I understand. Isn't that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, it's during the summer months when she's off school. He said, look, you got to go back. They live very close to each other, just so you understand. They live within
2 minutes of walking.
a block, 2 minutes between the houses, between the residences.
Mm-hmm.
She wouldn't go back, and plaintiff never called, never even contacted him during the summer. So this is a typical ploy by plaintiff. She's filed multiple motions. If you look at the record, there's multiple motions for. I mean, look, we understand that she's entitled to have visitation, but when she's not facilitating it, it's not incumbent on my client. It's very difficult to make a 13-year-old do something that she doesn't feel that the parent really cares if she comes back or not. So that was really the position. And then, when you're ready, Your Honor, I'd like to address this other issue that she's raised about the social security.
So Mr. Kidder, when your daughter didn't go to her mom's, what did you say to her? What was your dialogue with your daughter when she wasn't with her mom during her weeks?
Your Honor, when it came time for my daughter to go back to her mother, I told my daughter, you need to go back to your mom. You should walk to your mom's house. It's only 2 minutes down the sidewalk. The daughter refused. She says that she doesn't want to go back. The situation is, I don't know what the situation is. I don't live there, but the daughter did not want to go back. I told her to go back. She wouldn't go back. And me being the father, I'm not going to throw my own daughter.
Did you message plaintiff and say, our daughter is refusing to come over? It's not my fault. I can't force her. Did you message plaintiff and say, why not?
No, I did not. But I told Aaliyah that she should text her mother, and Aaliyah didn't. Now the mother.
I'm going to repeat myself. Why did you not message her? You're the parent.
Why did I not send her a text?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't.
I mean, guys, you guys are basically letting your 13-year-old run the show. And you guys are parents, and you guys have no communication whatsoever. You're putting yourself at a great disservice to a teenage child who could be the best child in the world, but the best children will play their parents. And she doesn't call the shots. And if she's refusing to go, then you need, because guys, I look over the file, and a couple of years ago, we were here on her refusing to come to your house, and you got makeup parenting time. So, and why as I look at that, does that happen? Because a 13-year-old's emotional personality is all over the place. And one day they're mad at dad, one day they're mad at mom. And, a couple of years ago, we're here on you getting makeup parenting time. And now the same thing's being asked by mom. And that's because you guys are letting a 13-year-old dictate the show. That's not going to work. And you guys are in the unique situation that you're super close to each other. I'm going to be honest. I've done this 25 years. I'm not a fan of parents refusing to communicate. If that happens, I usually send you to a court therapist to figure out why the two of you can't communicate with each other. Because now that your daughter's a teenager, you guys have to be able to compare notes, and what's going on. Does she stay out late? Is she in trouble? Is she not in trouble? Has she, gotten involved in stuff she shouldn't get involved with, or people that you guys don't approve of? You guys need to communicate. And ma'am, go ahead.
Okay, so there was a couple things I wanted to touch on. Regarding my daughter not wanting to come home, that could have been due to a punishment that I chose. I took her electronic device away for a week because she was talking about some very inappropriate stuff online, and I did not like it. And because I was actually supervising that, I chose that was a fair punishment for her. On July 3rd, she come to me crying, or no, July 4th, sorry. July 4th, she come to me crying, saying that she wanted to go by her dad. I said, okay, here's your phone. Let's see if your dad will answer and let you come over. She tried a couple times, and I essentially ended up going over there barefooted in my van knocked on his door to let her get in. And since then, till the 22nd of August, I had not been able to see my daughter.
Okay.
And
So
regarding
did you ever call Mr. Kidder and say, your daughter's in trouble? She was looking stuff on the internet. She's mad at me. This is why she wants to come home. We need to get on board on this because she's on the internet and this can be risky or inappropriate. Are you guys having those conversations? Why not?
I would like to. And the other issue that I wanted to touch on is we had senior court psychiatrists before.
Yeah, I see. I ordered it in 21.
And
And how did that go?
I feel that it was good. But at the same time, I think that all three of us should be in a therapy setting. I know Mr. Kidder refuses therapy because Aaliyah has been in therapy for years now. Speaking of which, he's refusing her therapy. Her therapist has told me that he has not brought her in, and that was another court agreement. One time, one of her therapists had suggested that Mr. Kidder seek professional help himself, and he refused to take her back.
Okay. And what is she? Why is she in therapy for years? What's her diagnosis? Why has she been in therapy?
Depression and anxiety.
Okay. And let me ask this, and the guys, I'm just trying to get a background here. Are you both employed right now or no?
No.
I'm on SSD.
And what's your SSD for?
Ulcerative colitis and COPD.
Okay. And ma'am,
Mr. Kidder is a former veteran that worked for a number of years. To our knowledge, plaintiff has never worked, even though I don't believe she's on any kind of disability. She just chooses not to work.
Okay. So then let's move into the Social Security benefits. So ma'am, I'm a little confused over what you're requesting in regards to the Social Security benefits.
Okay, if you look in the documentation that I did attach with this, the Social Security, I was trying to claim her for my year this year. And I was trying to claim her in July after he had already received her benefits that month. I made sure that I waited until after to apply for it. The lady I spoke with at the Social Security office said, yes, it is okay to do that now, seeing as you waited until after he received the benefits this month. And before I could even get the check for August, he went in and reapplied for her benefits. So he's receiving her benefits still.
Who traditionally receives the benefits?
We do 1 year him, 1 year me, which is also part of the reason I also it included the representative payee thing from Social Security.
Yeah. So guys, just so you know, as an aside, I did both disability law and divorce law before I came to the court. When you have joint custody, it presents a dilemma for Social Security. They will not split a check. There can only be one payee, which you guys probably realize.
Yes.
But it sounds like you guys in your judgment put in there that every other year you would switch off the payee and you'd become the payee every other year.
Yes.
And you guys agreed to do that?
Yes.
You're asserting that he went beyond his year?
He went back to the office stating that I claimed it too early, but due to the fact of him a few years ago, he claimed it like 2-3 months earlier than he was supposed to. So we made an agreement with Social Security office that there is a certain month that we were able to claim her, and only that month and after. Well, now Social Security, due to Mr. Kidder going in there and reapplying, is telling me I have to have a court documentation stating what month and day I can go in to him and I to claim her benefits for the year.
Yeah, they don't want to be involved anymore. They don't want to be involved in this tug of war, and they're not required to be because you can only have one payee. So there's two ways. So you guys basically, in my view, contracted in your judgment to do that. You know, it becomes a bit messy when people don't do what they agreed to do, because again, Social Security is not bound by this.
Yeah, can I just advise you?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, my client did not. It is plaintiff who went in. First of all, she went in and tried to make herself the payee on this account, the sole payee. If you look at the letter that she attached, it says, we have decided that it would be in the best interest for Aaliyah Noble to have her check sent to another payee. She should have no ability to go in and do anything. This is an account of Mr. Kidder's that he earned. It goes to the custodial parent. So what I understand,
they're both a custodial parent.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just, let me finish. So what they're saying is they want a clear delineation and an order, and we're more than willing to do that. My client has records that he did not take anything more than his yearly amount. She starts on September 6th. It should just read on September 6th, it switches to the other person. On September 6th, it will switch to her.
When did you guys enter into that agreement? Because I'm looking at I'm looking at a January 2018 uniform support order, which puts support at 0 and says child support is abated in lieu of derivative Social Security benefits received by a plaintiff mother on behalf of the minor child through defendant's award. That's the uniform support order I have at 18. When did you guys start doing this alternate years? Is that another order at a different date that I need to see here?
I know this has come up before. I think it is an order. I'm not. I know this has come up before, Your Honor. We straightened it out before. That's why, it's just a matter of she thinks she's getting shorter, but this is the way they've been doing it.
Oh, wait, here's an order from, let me see. There's an order from 20. What does this say? There's an order from February of 2021 from the investigative department, the support investigative department after a review.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't believe there is an actual order regarding the Social Security exchange of benefits.
I'm not seeing one, guys. That's why I'm asking that question.
Yeah, that's not good.
Is there any way that we can?
So you guys tell me, when did you buy your agreement? Start flip-flopping it every other year?
Your Honor.
When? Tell me.
There is no specific date.
No, when did you start this going back and forth?
I would say since 2016 or 15. 2015 and 2016.
I think it's always been the case since that order was entered.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys have a support order in 18 that says the benefit goes to her. That she gets it every year. Your support's been based on her getting the derivative benefit.
Okay,
and
well,
in
that makes no
2020,
sense. It doesn't. Well, that's not what. And you said that you Social Security will pay it to the custodial parent. So if they have,
they're both.
Yeah. So
yeah, but they won't split it. They won't split it.
They won't split it currently, but certainly they can flip back and forth depending on who has. I don't know. I think what they're asking for is just a clear delineation of what has been the party's practice for about 7 years, Your Honor. So I think that's what they need. And we have, that's
go
what
ahead, ma'am. Go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am.
All right, if I may, I am in no mood to have an argument regarding this, okay? We've been having no problem until this year, okay? What I want is to continue the 1 year him, 1 year me, without anybody claiming taxes on her that they are not supposed to. And he did do that in the year 2021, and I have the documentation from Social Security stating that that was my time to claim her. But that's neither here nor there. What I want is some kind of documentation. We can start it from this month, this date, and I will be happy with that to turn into Social Security.
Okay, so you agree with Mr. Kidder that you want to agree to continue to alternate the derivative benefits every other year.
Yes,
and who gets even years and odd years for tax purposes?
Whoever gets her for that year, the Social Security will send them that.
No, but why are you? But you guys aren't using a January start date. You guys are using a September.
We can, if that's what you order, I'm willing to
Well,
do that.
guys, I'm not the IRS or Social Security. You guys have created your own agreement, but I'm confused as to how a September to September year rather than a January to January, how you guys pick who gets even and odd years for the tax exemption.
Okay, am I able to address the other party?
Just who took it in
tell me.
2022?
Mr. Kidder did.
Okay, well then you get it this year.
Well, then we have to do something about Social Security now to give me the benefit.
No, hold on a second. Social Security
Guys, stop.
has nothing to do with it.
So this is my guess. My guess is that Social Security says whoever has the child at the end of the year, that's their year.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sounds like it to me. Am I wrong? Or I'm trying to figure it out.
You're
so
correct.
If you're gonna have starting September 1st through September of next year, does that mean you get 23 as the year for your exemption? So you get odd and he gets evens. So you get odd and he gets evens.
Okay.
Does that work for everybody?
I'm happy with it.
So mom gets odd, even, and the year end starts September 1st of each year is when you guys switch. Is that what you want to put in there?
Yes, Your Honor, that would be fine with me.
That's fine.
Okay. So then the other issue is what we're talking about is the request for makeup and whether it was denied or not. So let me ask this, ma'am, did you ask for her to come back? What happened during the week? So she doesn't come back. What happens when she doesn't come as scheduled? What action did you take at that point?
As I stated earlier, in May, I did contact Sterling Heights Police because I was expecting her. I told her to walk here. She did not show up. They did a welfare check over at Mr. Kidder's apartment and found her watching TV. Excuse me, stated that she was fine. And that should have been a clear sign that, hey, I wanted her to come to me.
But did you call him? Did you report it to the
No, Your Honor.
front of the court? Parenting time. You guys know you have a parenting time enforcement officer at the front of the court. Are you guys aware of that?
I am not, honestly.
Okay, so if you don't, you have a parenting time enforcement attorney that if someone's violating the custody and parenting time order, you can contact, and you can do it online. If you go to the front of the court website, there's parenting time denial forms or complaint forms. You can do it that way. So the point, ma'am, they're making is if you don't, other than this one time calling the cops, why should they view it as a denial, not you just not letting her stay? Why should he owe makeup time if there was no action other than the one time to have the cops come over and her not to come home?
To be fair, Your Honor, that is not the only time. I do not remember which date in July that my husband went there and I in two separate vehicles because we were coming from my mother's house. And my husband was there before I was. And Aaliyah did not come outside. We were parked over by Mr. Kidder's apartment. I waited till 4:10 on that date. I don't remember which one in July, but nobody opened the door to look to see if I was there. And I did not have my phone with me.
Okay.
That's
all right. And anything else? Okay, go ahead, counsel.
That's just not a communication with my client. As you know, that's the problem here. Now, what about having these people communicate on the Wizard app so that we have a record of what this is? Because it's easy to say, hey, I sent a text message, and then we have to see it. Wizard will have a record, and I agree. Mr. Kidder, from his point of view, should be saying, hey, what's going on? She's not, do you want her back, or what's going on? There should be communication, but apparently, the way they have it right now, it's not a very effective method. So maybe that's the solution. From now on, communicate through the Wizard system. Then we have.
So let me ask this. So I dare not ask this question, but I'm gonna. What happens if you guys who live a block or two apart? What happens when one of you wants to talk to the other party? What would happen if you come over and knock on the door? Are you going to talk to each other or no?
Your Honor, if he were to come to my apartment, yes, I look to see who's at my door first, and yes, I would open it, being that she is the father of my child. He has never come to my door, even when he comes to pick her up. When he does, if she does not walk over there. And in winter, I expect him to come near my place so that I can see him, not 5 spaces down where I have to look around the corner to see him.
Okay, so let me ask this. So Mr. Kidder, I'll ask you each of your perspectives, and this is from Mr. Kidder first. Why, Mr. Kidder, from your perspective, why do you guys have a total inability to communicate or be together on behalf of your daughter for special occasions, school functions, whatever? What's made it so bad?
She never communicates with me, and she's very vindictive, and she's not nice to me. She never communicates with me, never.
When you say she's not nice, what does that mean? When's the last time she hasn't been nice?
She's vindictive, and she's cunning and vindictive, and she does not communicate with me. She knows my phone number to text me, and she never texts me. Never.
Okay, texts. So tell me this. Ma'am, I'm not yet. So, sir, you say she's cunning and vindictive. What has she done that's vindictive, and what has she done that's cunning?
This has been going on since 2014, since she left me.
So what kind of things does she does? What's the worst that she's done? Tell me the worst.
Well,
I'm just trying to figure out why.
Well, she calls the police on me nonstop and says that I'm withholding the daughter against your will, and I'm doing nasty stuff to my daughter.
What do you mean nasty stuff to your daughter?
She has accused me of walking around naked in front of her, watching porn with her, teaching her to masturbate. The list is endless.
So now I now understand why you guys are not communicating. If you assert someone's alleging felony crimes on your behalf.
If you look,
go ahead, ma'am. Stop. Go ahead, ma'am.
If I may, please.
Okay, go ahead.
My daughter has come to me saying certain things about her father. I have never accused him of teaching her how to masturbate.
Okay,
this has been a subject of the prior motion. I let you talk. If you would please let me.
Counsel doesn't get to direct my hearing. If I'm going to listen to her for briefly, but I'm explaining why we have such horrible. But guys, I ordered you a therapist back in 2020. So go ahead, ma'am. So ma'am, so if you're going to tell me your daughter's telling you he's doing this stuff, this is the daughter that's choosing to stay there and not come home. So if he's so bad in doing these things, why would she choose to stay there with her dad and not come home to your house if he's this horrible guy that's doing these terrible things to her?
Your Honor, that was many years ago that she made these accusations. Okay. And I've learned that I can't trust her, which is why I go through her devices and I see exactly what's going on.
And what is the thing what is what you saw on her phone that was a concern that led to you punishing her and her going back to her dad's? What was on the phone?
There has been multiple times of her talking about wanting to have sex with her then boyfriend, and also her friend talks about getting high, and my daughter also saying that she's high too. Okay. And then another friend threatening
I've heard enough. So guys, guess what I'm going to say to you? You have a teenager. The things in this world nowadays and the nature of what they can get on social media and what they see on TV and the accessibility of drugs and pot and sex. If you guys don't communicate, you have a teenage daughter that you guys need to be able to call each other and say, listen, I'm on her phone. She's talking about becoming sexually active. Dad, we have to talk to her about the birds and the bees and the reality. She probably knows a lot of it of what happens if you have sex and, narrow this, all the above. Have this teenage girl who's talking about potentially getting high and having sex, and you guys don't communicate. Now, if he's been accused of CSC, there's going to be a lot of anger there if he asserts it's not true, and I get the dysfunction. But there's a major disconnect here between your daughter wanting to stay with dad, who you say years ago did this stuff. By the way, guys, as children, you may at some point have seen your parent leave the bathroom or the shower or something unclothed. Now, I'm making a general statement. Probably as a kid once or twice, and you're like, oh gosh, I wish I didn't see that. It's different than walking around all day long, but you guys have to be able to talk to each other and vet through allegations and know if there's really seriously something going wrong, or is it, oh my God, dad didn't know I was walking through and he walked from the bathroom to his bedroom and oh God, I saw dad. There's a difference there. It's a difference of intent and impropriety or something that's totally not inconsequential and not wrong. And it may have happened. And you guys need to vet through those things because there's a major disconnect between a child who doesn't want to come home to mom, probably because she got grounded on social media because she was talking about drugs and sex, but you guys don't talk about it. And she goes to dad's and says, I don't want to go home because maybe he's not paying attention to the electronics. And you can't say she's grounded from electronics. And by the way, if she's over there, this is what's going down with her talking about having sex with her boyfriend and all this other stuff. I mean, you guys got to figure, I don't know. So I'm going to make a decision. Is there anything else either one of you guys wants to add before I make my final decision regarding the issues before the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
What the council had suggested, an app or whatever that's recorded through the court, I completely agree with that. That's a good idea.
All right. Awesome. Okay. So we'll do that. All right. So the only issue you're not in agreement is on makeup parenting time. I will make a decision of that, and you guys can decide if you want to object and go before the judge. So I'm going to go over what you do agree on. So 1, per the parties' request and agreement, they shall alternate on a yearly basis, being the payee for their daughter's derivative Social Security benefits received through defendant's award. Parties shall alternate being the payee effective September 1st each year, with the plaintiff mother becoming the payee as of September 2023.
That's what they mailed out. That's when they put it in.
2, further per the parties' agreement and request, they shall alternate the minor child as an exemption for tax purposes each year, with plaintiff receiving the minor child in odd years as an exemption and defendant father in even years. 3, the parties shall use the AppClose application for communications, apps, and emergencies. Guys, AppClose is AppCloce. It's going to be in the order. You can get it from the Apple Store, the Google Play Store if you have Android as compared to Apple. It's a communication tool. It's free, and you can utilize that for communications. All right. So finally, 4, in regards to makeup parenting time. So guys, I'm going to split the difference. I think you guys have to, ma'am, you have to enforce it when it's denied, and sir, you have to encourage your daughter to go. I'm going to take the 5 weeks and split them in half, and I'm going to indicate that plaintiff is entitled to 2.5 weeks makeup parenting time. So 2.5 is 14, add another 4, 18 makeup days. I'm going to put parens 18 makeup days to be exercised within the next. Is 6 months too much time to work out in the next 6 months? That'll give you an area to figure out when you want it to be exercised over in the next 6 months. Does that work?
Yes.
So guys, I can say, jump up and down and say, I want you to talk to a therapist. Guys, your daughter's a teenager. You guys are putting yourself at a major disadvantage if you cannot communicate regarding concerns regarding her. Go ahead, ma'am.
Can I also have a court order stating that, again, that he bring her to and from therapy? And I also need some kind of documentation stating that I am able to get that information from her place of therapy, because I tried to get that and her therapist said that I have to. You guys should be able to take your judgment of custody, and that says joint legal and physical, and give that to any doctor or therapist, and it shows that you have equal rights to all her information. Am I able to get a copy of that again sent to me with this?
We usually don't do it, but I will send you a copy. I will email you a copy.
Please and thank you.
As a courtesy of the court.
Thank you.
Mr. Kidder, do you have a copy? You need a copy too?
Yes.
Mr. Kidder? Okay. All right. All right. Is there anything else, guys, I can help you out with today, or does that cover everything that was before the court?
I think
That's
that
very
covers it
good.
all.
All right, guys. So please communicate on a basic level. You've already had identified that your daughter got in trouble for talking about sex. Number one issue, guys, better deal with what's going on with her and figure that out so she doesn't end up with, having a situation where she's a young mother. Nobody wants that to happen, right?
No, I don't.
And figure out what's going on with drugs, and don't let your daughter play you guys. Okay? The best kids will. It doesn't mean she's a bad kid. All right, with guys, you have 21 days to object. We're going to email you a copy of this order and the objection procedure. If no one objects within 21 days, this will remain the order of the court. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, have a good day, everybody. Please stay healthy and safe. Bye-bye.